about the history was that this park is here because of altruism and people San Franciscans who really care. I moved to Mount Davidson neighborhood in 1980 and I was so excited I could see the cross from my living room window, and I found out this is the highest point in the city. But then when I told everyone, people, they said, "You live in San Francisco?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Where do you live?" "I live on Mount Davidson." "Where's that?" So how many of you have been here before? Very good. Very good. I call this the secret park, and I kind of like that. We don't get busloads of tourists, but I was inspired to write a book about the history, and I'm also a volunteer city guide, and I lead tours of Mount Davidson beginning in the fall, and so we'll be here on Sunday of Labor Day weekend at 10 a.m. if you'd like to learn more about the history. So it's wonderful that you're here today to volunteer, because part of my research about the history was that this park is here because of altruism and people San Franciscans who really care. And so Adolf Sutro, he created the Cliff House restaurant, and the Sutro Bass, who was also mayor of San Francisco, he ended up owning the west side of Mount Davidson as well as Mount Sutro, over 1,000 acres, and he believed that it was going to be more beautiful if he planted trees. And these trees are still here from the 1880s, and they provide the special oasis in the middle of the second densest city in the United States. After his death, its land was sold for development of St. Francis Wood, Sherwood Forest. They used the trees that he planted as themes for the neighborhoods. But he still allowed people to hike to the top. A man named James Decatur did in 1923. He thought he was in Yosemite. He was so amazed to be in this forested area. Golden Gate Park was still under development, and he was inspired to start an Easter sunrise service in 1923. It still goes on today. 3 years later, a woman named Maddie Brown, who ended up being California's first female park commissioner, started a campaign for the city to buy the top 20 acres of the hill to preserve the forest as a city park. 3 years later, 1929, it was dedicated on John McLaren's birthday. And then during the Great Depression, 30,000 people came here for the sunrise service. Can you imagine? 30,000. Before dawn, hiking up, and he decided he wanted to raise money for a permanent cross. Before, they were always temporary for the sunrise service. So that's when money was raised to build this 103-foot high cross. It was dedicated in 1934. And Maddie Brown wrote to President was the dedication. He pressed a telegraph key from Washington, D.C., and 50,000 people came here to watch the lights that were here at one time turned on for the first time. So all of these people were doing this out of love of San Francisco, and so this park is still here today because of volunteerism and people going beyond the call of duty to create something special in San Francisco. So thank you so much for being here today. Bye-bye.